Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday night, and we're back with another Football Manager stream. Madwin84 for anyone who doesn't know me, and we're continuing our save as Hertha Berlin manager. So, those of you who've seen me before, you know this, but we started unemployed and we've worked our way up to the top division of German football. And from here on out, are looking to win the Champions League. We've decided this save will end with us being sacked or us winning the Champions League. Doesn't necessarily have to be at Hertha, but one of those two things will end this save, and we'll move on to the next one. So let's catch up, shall we, on where we were when we last left off. So we are top of the Bundesliga, 4 points clear of Bayern Munich as it is so far, and at the halfway stage. So we are looking pretty good. We're just about to go into the winter break. We've got a bit of money to spend in the transfer market in the summer. It's not summer, it's winter. The winter transfer window. Not a huge amount, but we do have 18 million. We can stretch that pretty far if we're willing to toy with the club's financial future, which I absolutely am. I have no loyalty to this club or any other. So we are going to continue. I think actually let's just have a quick look at how we got on last stream. So we started the last stream actually with some very difficult matches. Bayern Munich and Man United away. We actually managed to beat Bayern Munich in their own backyard, but unfortunately couldn't do the same to Man United, who, I mean, they trounced us pretty heavily in the end. Some excellent home form and away league form followed before we were back in the big time against Barcelona. Again, Barcelona absolutely trounced us. We managed to keep it together, and I think we were fairly 50-50 in that first half. Second half, though, Barcelona just tore us apart. So it may not be this year that we didn't win the Champions League, but we're going to keep going. And then the last couple of matches, fairly low-level matches, we nearly lost our 36 match, I think it is, unbeaten run against St. Pauli, with I think a disallowed goal towards the end for St. Pauli, saving us really. And then at Hoffenheim, it was just a regulation win, back to our normal winning ways. So, well, without any further ado, let's get going. So, how is everyone tonight? It's been a slightly colder one in London today. Not cold at all. Although at one point I swear I felt a bit chilly. But it's only 23 degrees, I think it was. Yeah, 21 it's saying now. I think it was 23 degrees at its highest earlier in the day. And I was sat here in my shorts thinking I wish I'd put trousers on. So I was meant to stream on Saturday night, but I didn't. I got accosted by my brother, who was in the pub. I'd just gone there for a couple of. Yeah, and then as I was finishing up there after I lost my fifth consecutive race, my brother turned up, and it's been a while since I saw him, so I stuck around for a couple more. Ducky, how you doing? So I've just been moaning my losses at Royal Ascot on Saturday. It was a day for the bookies, that one. Oh, coming up. Your FM 20, well, your FM saves full stop are always interesting. You've got teams that no one's ever heard of doing things that no one could have ever expected them to do. So this promises to be an interesting story. Who have we got? We've got some interesting ones here. £110,000 feels like a very, very cheap signing indeed. And that is. Who else is interested? Well, surely not. He's 19, so he's just above the age of being able to naturalise as a German citizen or become homegrown at the club. But how do we say no to that for £110,000? I think we just straight up offer it, don't we? And they can't say no to that. So after HKFC game, I have 10 cup games before the next league game. How? Hold on, let's have a look at this. Oh, that scheduling's a bit off, isn't it? You're going Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday in the cup. And you've got consecutive Wednesdays where, I mean, you've got Saturdays where you could play there in October, haven't you? Oh dear, that's not great. Had a bug in my save that's happened for the third time. That's annoying. There was a bug in a previous FM that destroyed my game after one season. I think, if I remember rightly, you could not. If you were in the championship and got into Europe, the game would crash because it was trying to schedule you for the first round of the League Cup and the first round of whatever European competition you were in the same week, and it would just crash the game. You could not get past it. Both Asian Champions League Cup and Asian Confederations Cup equivalent in the same season. How? I mean, yeah, it's obviously a bug. I didn't pick up on the fact they were. Oh, of course, yeah, Conference Cup. Oh, that's incredible. And you can go down in history, Duck. If you get two Continental Cups in Asia in the same season, that will never be beaten. Let's have a look at this Joyce Mandanda. He's a bit more of an expensive option than last guy, but again, 8.8 million. Pretty cheap. I suppose I'd better have a look at what we were planning to spend our money on. It feels like it's been a long, long time since I last picked up this save. So I think striker we were quite happy with. Adeyemi is out for quite some time though. Maybe that's what I was thinking of, was perhaps spending my money on a loan to cover Adeyemi. Happy with how things look on both wings. Attacking midfield, we've got plenty of good options there. Defensive midfield is probably an area where we're weakest, actually. Centre back, plenty of good options. Left back with Kirkes, I think we're pretty well covered. And then right back, we've got numerous options. So, yeah, I do think maybe defensive midfield and or striker. Although we might just have found the cheapest backup that we could possibly ask for. Don't report it. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. Right. Who else did you find for me? So some of these players are probably outside of our reach just because of the price. And you might not be bad as a loan option. So let's add you to the shortlist for a month. Just as cover. Obviously, Cho will play as many games as we can get out of him. But it can't hurt to have someone who can rotate in when needed. And here we've got a Belgian international at 19 years old who wants to leave Man City. Well, that's another one worth keeping tabs on. Didn't mean to make an inquiry, but okay, you're on the short list anyway. No, you're not. Interesting. Yeah, don't worry. I don't see the point in reporting bugs in FM because I don't think anything ever happens with them. Not so far as I can tell, anyway. I do love cheap options here. Less than £3 million for right-footed left winger. That's there's some exciting players here for decent prices. Great determination off the ball. 19, great dribbling, decent pace. Lack of natural fitness is my only concern here, but you're another one to keep tabs on for a little while. Anyone else? Okay, let's move on. So we've got a new audio setup. I I went out and bought myself a new mic. So rather than just using my headset, and I've also bought myself a new Steel Series headset as well. Decided to treat myself. So do let me know how things sound and if volume is too much, too little, whatever it may be. Right, so they're agreeing to contract talks. I mean, none of that is horrendous, is it? Let's knock them down just because we can try. I can't offer a loan back because he may well be coming into the first team. Okay, so they want 20 million for this Belgian international. Fitness is poor. Work rate is not great. Not good at teamwork. It means you've actually got limited limited application. I mean, a poacher is pretty much all you can do. That probably wouldn't be too bad. But I think I can understand why he's not getting too much game time. Are you homegrown in Germany? No. Belgium and England. Hmm. I think we're going to remove you from the shortlist. I don't like that at all. I actually think our £110,000 option might actually be better. And a managing director has retired. I don't know what part they play, or none that I can tell. Okay, and our first signing, and an absolute bargain it is, of the January transfer window. Luis Silva will join us on the 1st of January for £110,000. Absolute snip. And even if he doesn't go on to be a massive success with the team, we're going to make a profit off of him. That's for sure. he won't end up being £110,000. Well, pretty much as soon as he arrives at the club, that value should go up fairly significantly, I would think. Ever and ever. So, Duck, when it comes to all of the multitude of FM saves you have, do you just go into whichever game just takes your fancy at that point, or do you have like a schedule? You're like, okay, Thursdays I'm in Hong Kong, on Fridays I'm back in Finland. Was it Iceland? I can't remember which one you're. It was Iceland, wasn't it? Your Fjolnir. What have you got for me? Anything good? That's another one at 9 million. There are bargains out there if we're willing to look for them. That's putting me off that natural fitness. Usman Diamande was one that we were desperate to get in the summer, but due to that price, we decided against it in the end. And we brought in a much cheaper option from Portugal instead, in the form of Ruben Oliveira, who has proven to be quite a decent little understudy. Got some potential to grow as well. We're in danger of just trying to poach a load of Belgian youngsters here. But Jean Margraf looks, on the face of things, pretty tidy. Likes the shadow striker role, which I think is the first time I've seen someone actually have that as a preferred role. You know, the league is crap when Hong Kong League is predicted to be won by an always amateur team. Well, yeah, that tells a story, doesn't it? Yeah, minimum fee release clause. We've been maintaining the top of the league for a while. Every other team is professional. Wow. So how on earth does an always amateur team get up above the professionals? Because even if you account for the lack of quality in the league, surely just that professionalism is going to make a difference. Surely the amateur team's players will be poached by the professionals who can offer actual contracts. No schedule pre-planning, just go with it. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Just whatever takes your fancy. I think previously I would probably have about 2 or 3 saves on the go, and I would focus for weeks on one before I thought, okay, I fancy trying something different, or I fancy getting back into this situation where I've got tons of money, or I want to go back into a situation where every transfer I do is pretty much a free transfer. So it was, yeah, pretty much a case of whatever took my fancy at that time. And part of the question we're going to ask ourselves when our new boy, when Luis Silva joins the club, is: are we happy with that striker position, and then are we focusing on the DM? Because when Luis Silva does come in, he is going to end up being a third choice striker. But while Adeyemi is out injured for the next couple of months, they're probably going to get a bit of playing time. So I don't want to go and get yet another striker, especially when we've got Philip Schaefer, who admittedly isn't developing quite as we'd like, and Paolo Locci, who has actually managed a... He's not managed a goal this season. I'm lying. I thought he had managed a goal this season. But Paolo Locci has his uses, but I'm not convinced that he's ready for as much football as we might need him to take on. So that would be 5 strikers with Lewis Silva. Adding a sixth feels like it would be overkill. So I'm tempted to say that's business done up front. Let's focus on getting someone to not necessarily challenge Neves and Nkili, but to be a first change. So we've got a Carney who flits between being a first choice in at centre back and being our cover at defensive midfield. But it's really Ayman Kari who it might be time for him to move on. Possibly. We'll see how it goes. I think partly it will just be a case of let's see what's on offer out there. The amateur team gets 200k more sponsorship than me, and I'm second highest in the league in that metric. Okay, so they bring in more money, and yet they don't spend it because they're always amateur. So are they just forever building up financial reserves and not spending it on the team? I'm highly confused by an always amateur team being pretty much the top team in a league of professional teams. That's the bit I get. You know, I can perfectly understand an always amateur team doing well at at a semi-pro level, but when all of the other teams are professional, that's bizarre. That's interesting. There's an opportunity to bring this youngster in on a free. Although would it be a free? Probably would imagine there would be some sort of compensation. Not interested. Well, that's knocked me back. I wasn't expecting to hear he's not interested. And the squad salaries are pretty poor. Okay. Basically, the terms just aren't worth turning professional for some players, I take it. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll move away from that potential purchase then. And that's kind of National League North-South kind of levels, that is. The amateur team do have exceptional youth recruitment. That's going to make a big difference then, isn't it? Adequate junior coaching. So you get really good players in and then waste some of their best formative years with adequate junior coaching. Although comparatively, what's the rest of the league looking like? What's your club looking like for junior coaching? Hardy set for move to Man United. Behave yourself. If I change that to title challenge and give me a little bit more money, no, I'd rather just be seen as overperforming. For an extra 80 or 90 grand a week in the wage budget, there's no point. Okay, so let's get him registered in the squad. Has he gone into... No, he's there. Where is he? He's not gone into the under 19s, has he? He is in the under 19s. Let's get him in the senior squad. Come on. And then let's get him registered. There we go. And you will end up being homegrown at club. Good stuff. Good stuff. As completely intentional purchase then. I won't bother with your squad number for now. Okay, people after Rene Dippert. No, we don't want to sell you. He's got 4-star potential. Although, looking at you now, you may never reach that. That might be one to sell. Let's see whether a bidding war starts. Go away, Philip Kaiser. That's a lot of questions you're asking me now. Just 9 days until our season restarts, so it's not a huge winter break. I think it's only 2 or 3 weeks, isn't it? From just before Christmas to week and a half into New Year. Yeah, 20th. I do find it interesting though how with Hertha we had players who were desperate for a rest in November, and yet the fixture schedule doesn't seem any busier than say the Premier League, and yet I don't often see Premier League players saying they need a rest. It's only something you tend to see in leagues where they have a winter break. Who is this lad? Dortmund are in very early for him at 16. I think we push that as far as we can go. We're certainly not selling him for that much. What do we think? 1.7 mil. Let's see if we can bump a lot of that into installments and see if they'll still pay it. That's too much. Got click happy there. Yeah, 2 million guaranteed for a player who probably isn't going to be able to access that full potential. I'm quite happy to see him go. You are also welcome to go. Low eccentricity, though, that's always a positive for a goalkeeper. Only 5'11", might grow an inch or two, maybe. But I've seen players at 15 who don't get any taller than they are at the start. So, what do we think? What's your potentially 2 to 3 stars? You'll only ever be a backup. Okay. I'm not giving you cut price players. You want to pay, you pay. Pay me proper money. Oh, let's move on then. And another Kem Sinar who, and his potential seems to be going down every time I look at it. But he's got decent mentals, really. Technically not amazing. Physically not particularly imposing. But surely we need some more money from a sale such as this. So let's see if we can get them to guarantee us 5 mil. Okay. Oh gosh, you've got a tactic for me. Dark, you can't do that. That's no, no, no. I quite like that you've got a centre striker at centre back, and you've got one midfielder who can play that position, and everybody else. Is this just holding on for dear life? Tried something like this on FM15 and would genuinely give you in if you took the lead and switched to it. Well, I think if I was building the FM match engine, I'd definitely find a way to try and punish you for literally having 11 men behind the ball. Comparisons, yeah. I don't think they're very similar. Yeah, he'll find friends. It's just like a glove. Can you? Yeah, everyone can do different goals. How? Yeah, get out of his way, and so on, and yada yada yada. Yeah, that 5-5-0. It turns my stomach dark. You can't have that many people defending. It hurts. I think it's bad enough when you come up against teams in FM23 who have 7 at the back. Okay, technically it's 5 at the back and 2 defensive midfielders, but still. We all know that's a 7 at the back. You're just trying to get him on the cheap. No, no, no. CSK have offered a contract. Goran, who is Goran Ivanov? Is he one of mine? Apparently so. Okay. Yeah, you can go. You're never going to develop into a first team player. Already looked at Robel. Not going to be good enough, unfortunately. Margraf is one that really, really intrigues me. I do think we're probably oversubscribed in those positions. We've got Diamande as our attacking mid. We've also got Jay Lethen, who can play there as well. Even if you look at him as a right winger, we've got Burkholt and Lethen. Adiemi can do a job out there. Schaefer at a push can play out there as well. But he's very good. Will score goals. With those stats, will definitely those attributes, he will definitely score goals. The only other downside is we don't actually have quite enough money. Unless potentially we sell off one of these players here. Maybe we need to look again at who's trying to buy my boys. Our contract. That's why it's still there. Okay. Maybe we do look to offload a couple of youngsters and bring in the Belgian attacking midfielder, Margraf. Probably my only worry there is I won't find a role for him from the very beginning. try it next game if I go 2 goals up or is late on and need to hold out. I mean, yeah. I'd be looking to maybe use that if I'm playing a team that I don't expect to beat. And I'm 1-0 up in the last 10, 15 minutes or maybe earlier, depending just how much bigger that side is. I would feel wrong using that. Well, there's no strikers. I mean, who scores your goal? I mean, I suppose with a system like that, you're not trying to score a goal, are you? It just, it makes me feel uncomfortable. 5-5-0. I'm all in favour of the old 2-3-5 myself. Okay, so 2.4 million straight up there. Hoffenheim offering 2 mil, 2.9 million guaranteed, and then another 700,000. That's not bad. Let's see if we can get Stuttgart up to 3. Okay, now we'll reject you. Oh, no. Nearly rejected the wrong one. Because that 3 million might just be enough to get us our Belgian lad in. And then if we go to this one, reject that. If we can keep getting them in with bigger and bigger offers, let's go and offer him out. Let's see if we can push this up a little bit. Let's see if anyone will stretch to 3.4 mil for him. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Right, let's see if we can get any of these up a little bit. Okay, we might have blown that, but that's fine. Let's accept that one. And then we'll go and reject this one. And then we're going to offer them out for even more money and see who comes in. Eventually, people will stop offering money, but let's get as much for him as possible. Ah, Schaefer, you do need to go out on loan somewhere. And not as a fringe player. As a squad player, let's negotiate that. They're getting him for free, but he definitely needs the game time. That's the most important thing for Schaefer right now, is he needs to play some games. Okay, so excellent. And then we offer him out again, see if we can get up to 4 million. I love this game. Just creating a bidding war. Okay. I know it might feel a little bit like cheesing the game here, but I mean, you can see how these things play out in real life. Yes, I'll accept your offer, but actually someone else has just offered more, so I'm going to turn around and change my mind on that. There we go, 4.5 mil. And eventually the bidding war ends when people stop offering me money for him. Oh, look at this, up to 5 mil. That's just straight up money. There's no No clauses in that. That's just, here's £5 million straight away for an 18-year-old who probably isn't going to get as close to their potential as they should. He's in a very low starting place, at least at this level. And even if he did reach his potential, probably isn't going to be at the level that I'm looking for. So 5 million, yeah, that's great. 5.5, we're still going. Right, let's see if we can go up by £1 million. Unintentional voice crack there. I don't think this bidding war is going to be done before we get to the first league game. And isn't it remarkable how many times that seems to happen? A double header. So after Freiburg, we've got Hanover at home in the cup and then away in the league. That seems to happen, at least as far as I'm concerned, a disproportionate number of times. Will you offer a decent amount? Okay, 6 million or not at all. Let's offer him out of 4-6 and see if anyone comes biting for that. If not, we might have found the ceiling. 5.5 million. Not too bad. Ashwin, you beautiful man. How are you doing? Are you still streaming Final Fantasy? If you are, I'm going to come and take a look. On all in with the 550 and subs. Please hold on. Oh, here we go. So you're 3-1 up against Hong Kong under 23s. That's, yeah, that's and you've mostly got players who can play on those positions as well. That's impressive. That's an impressive defensive setup there. Duck has got yeah, he's definitely got a brain for the weird and the wonderful formations. I've taken a break. What, you're almost at the end of the game already? That's incredible. That only came out on what, Friday? I'm sure it was only Friday that one came out. You won 3-2. Ah, so they did score them. Yeah, already. That's what I mean. 50 hours, and you've done it in the space of like 4 days. That's some dedication. It's non-negotiable. Come on, I've already got an offer of 5.5 million. So if you don't join in with that, you're dumb. Okay. Oh, my 400th game is against Freiburg. Just the team I wanted for that event. I did do a 12-hour stream. I don't know how you've got the stamina for it. I certainly haven't. I get to the end of my 4-hour streams on a Saturday night and I'm exhausted. I'm ready to sleep for about a week. 17. 17. I'm not sure I can tell you the last time I was awake for 17 hours straight, let alone doing a single thing or playing a single game for 17 hours straight. So yeah, on my Saturday night streams, which I did miss this week because I was in the pub. But yeah, I normally finish about 1:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. I'm in bed by 2ish, and I'm up by 9:30, and I am absolutely exhausted. I go to the allotment on a Sunday morning, and it's a real struggle to get up at 9:30. Real struggle. So 17 hours straight of Final Fantasy. Hats off to you. It's definitely a game that I think I'm going to get at some point. It won't be immediate. Interestingly, you're showing us having 4-star potential, but this is you're only 16, I suppose. We're going to reject that offer. Let's see how you get on over the next couple of years. And Dippet goes to Stuttgart. Good luck to you, mate. And that is the money we need to go and activate this guy's release clause. Lovely stuff. Don't like yearly wage rises, and I don't do minimum fee. Okay, we can work with that. Beautiful. Beautiful. So Ashwin, what's the sound like? Got my new mic in action, my Blue Yeti Nano. Got my new headset. The headset wasn't completely necessary, but I just fancied upgrading a bit. It sounds good. That's good to know. Right. Should give Akani a start at right back. I've moved him around quite a bit this season, actually. Considering last season he was pretty much a guaranteed defensive midfielder, I've definitely moved him around a bit. And Oliveira definitely, I think he's deserved a start. Go for Kari, just to give him a bit more playing time for now. Actually, there was me talking about defensive midfield. I've got Richter, who I really like at the moment. He's got plenty of potential. He's impressed me with his first few games. Well, that doesn't look like he's developing at the moment, but that might just be partly because of the winter break. Let's go left. Actually, let's go Diamande. Love Diamande. He's my boy. Okay, right back option. Centre back. Left back. Defensive mid. Attacking mid. Wing. Okay, let's say your wing. And striker. Let's get Luis Silva on the bench for his first Hertha Berlin match. You could have number 25 because that's available. Beautiful. Right. First match of the stream. It's nearly an hour in, but we've got through the first part of the transfer window. We've already made one signing. We may well make another before the end. And considering I was expecting quite a quiet one, we've made some good business. £110,000 for any player at this level is good business, if you ask me. And Burkholt attempting it from the free kick there, but looked like a fairly comfortable save for the keeper in the end. And that's why I like Oliveira. He's just big. He gets in the way. He's not your cultured ball-playing defender. He's just a big lump who's going to get in the way and stop you doing what you want to as a striker. And that's what I want from him. And that was a good move, but unfortunately, we're not able to finish it off. And this is a long old highlight. I expect a goal at the end of it. And just as I say that, it stops. Right, Bayern Munich don't kick off until later, so it would be nice to take advantage and put the pressure on, get the win. And that's poor work from the back there. And Cristiano, who is meant to be quite good as a ball. I mean, he's a midfielder, really. He should be doing better than that with the ball. AKA wet dream defenders. Yes, absolutely. And Pulis and Allardyce would love these guys. I mean, who wouldn't love a 6'4" centre back? I think. Oh, there we go. Bergholt gets a goal from what looked like a difficult place to score. I do think the Freiburg defender probably had a part to play in putting that past his keeper. We'll just have a look at this. Bergholt was kind of on the turn there, and yeah, Niemi's just put it past him. But I do think there's a case for saying even in the cultured teams, even in your Man Cities, you know, the sort of teams that try to play not quite total football, but a modern representation of it, it's always a case for having a big fucking 6'4" centre back. Just a big old lump who's hard to get past. You don't need him to pass the ball, you just need him to make sure that the ball gets to the people who can pass the ball. Oh, I don't know if that was in the box. That looked outside to me. And Ruben Oliveira was actually a player that I'd managed to completely miss in the yeah, I didn't think that was a penalty. I'd managed to completely miss him on the player search. There was only someone in chat who said, "Oh, who's this? Have a look at the kid from Sporting." And we looked at him, and he was exactly what I want in a centre back. And I'm happy with his purchase for what, £17 million, I think it was. And I probably would have ended up if I'd bought Usman Diomande for 74 million. I think it was going up. I think it was closer to 80 million at that point. So I'm probably happier with that when you take into account the cost and everything, just because he does the job. I quite like that the term wet dream got auto-modded, Duck. That was quite amusing. That's poor defending. Across comes Cristiano, and he does a good job in the end. Does a good job covering. Well, I feel like we should have scored some more goals in this match so far. When you can't take advantage of all of the opportunities you're creating, does rather feel like Football Manager's setting you up for a late equaliser or potentially worse. Diomande recovers from being scythed down in the box to win the ball back. That was, yeah, he was going to win that ball back. He was determined. Bergholt, Cho, and Cho has missed an absolute sitter. I was as calm as I was when narrating that because I just expected that to go in. That was almost done. Cohane showing he's probably better going forward than he is defending there. But he is so good when he does go forward. Right, let's hope we go out and do better in the second half and actually finish some of these chances. If not, we might be seeing quite an early introduction of Luis Silva. Okay, nothing is happening that is good. So, Freiburg have given us our first warning that this game is not entirely ours. Right, try for Luis Silva, just for something different up front. Just to present something different for Freiburg to have to deal with. And Simon Hardy can come off for Ralph Dorr. And let's see if we can use those changes to go on and get the second goal. That would make me feel a lot more comfortable than this current situation. And there's big old Ruben Oliveira winning the ball in the air again. Tony Pulis knew his stuff. And I'm not just saying that as a Gillingham fan. Tony Pulis, Rory Delap, big men in the box. And I'm not going to say he set the Premier League alight, but it certainly changed up the changed up the meta a bit, didn't he? And Burkholt nearly finding his way through, but I'm nervous now. Football Manager is setting me up for a 1-1 draw. XG of 3.33. Theirs is 0.38. This is definitely ending up 1-1. Right. I don't understand how Oliveira's only got a 6.6. He's been fantastic. So let's bring on Bradley. We'll put a Carney in that ball-playing defender role alongside Oliveira. And I think we'll take off Richter. Bring on João Neves. Just a bit more experience and know-how. We want to get this win. We don't need the win. We could actually afford to lose this and still stay top. But anything that puts daylight between us and Bayern Munich is a good thing. Neves, Dorr, Cohane, and Keeley, Diamande, and we just can't get that ball in the back of the net. Right, let's get Diamande off. Let's get Lethen on and see if that makes any difference in the last 5 minutes. And Burkholt taking his time over that corner. I do think my team are starting to sense that we might have to hold on to this. And Oliveira just beat... Oh, no, it was a Carney, actually. That wasn't Oliveira. I mean, Carney's quite tall as well, so adds a bit more credibility to the idea that you just need some big men at the back sometimes. We've hit the bar. XG is nearly 4. It's over 4 now. It's over 4. And even if it is only for 2 minutes, we're going to slow down the game as much as possible. And hopefully see us through to this win, but unless we're going to score from this, I'm really quite nervous. Okay, we've still got the ball. And Dorr does score. I don't care if that's offside. That's probably enough time taken out of the game for us to secure the win. And there you go. It's awarded. It's 27 minutes too early to go uber defensive. We will soon find out. Um, I can speak from experience. No, it's never too early to go uber defensive. Actually, that's not true. It might be in Football Manager. In real life, season before last, I saw us Gillingham going defensive from about minute 2. And occasionally it got us a point. So, not always. That wasn't a brilliant performance. It wasn't a sterling performance, that one, but we got the win. That's what we wanted. We created plenty, we just didn't finish anything. And that's the problem when you've got a team such as ours. We've got Cho, who, well, he scored 27 league goals, I think it is. Yeah, 27 league goals. Oh, no, sorry. 27 goals total, 14 in the league. And then next is Burkholt and Diamanda. Actually, we have got a few goal scorers. Karim Ediemi, Chris Ostermu from centre-back. Ignore me, we've got plenty of goal scorers. No highlights until the end of the game. Lovely jubbly. I mean, that's impressive. I've had games where I've gone pretty much all out attack and had no highlights in a half. So that's impressive. I've never gone more than a half without having a highlight. Hopefully you'll forgive me if I don't take it as advice on seeing out games in my save. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I mean, I did genuinely have, for a short period of time, I did have a 5 at the back formation being trained, and then decided actually I'd rather go 4-2-4. That is my defensive formation, 4-2-4. That's 39 games unbeaten in the league. So that's over a full season now, or well over a full season in Germany. How close are we to the all-time record? Does that mean... Oh, we don't know what the all-time record is. That's a shame. Also, I made a tweet announcing my FM leave. So that's it. You're done with FM, Ashwin. No more FM at all. So when FM24 comes around, you're not even going to be tempted in the slightest. Not even, maybe download the demo. Yeah, that's FM23. It's FM24, which, as we know, will be vastly different to FM23. No way it will just be a database update with a few superficial tweaks. That's not how they do it. Not even tempted for 0.01%. Well, I mean that's pretty final. But 12th place as your final position, that's not bad, is it? Fucking ads. Now you say fucking ads, but there we go. I just noticed your new little badge turn up there, Ashwin. Thank you very much for the Prime, mate. Much appreciated. There we go. I think you're the first person with a founder's badge, which I'm sure you probably would have had last month if it wasn't for the fact that I gifted you the sub before you had a chance. So welcome aboard, founder. Never even noticed. No. But yeah, no FM24 either. Mate, that's honestly that's fair enough. Even though New Arsenal would be amazing to play with. Oh god, yeah. An Arsenal that's not only got a very good squad as it is, but genuinely is spending money. I've just realised I bought this guy without any regard as to whether I'll be able to register him in the Champions League. Similar for Lewis Silva, this could be a problem. I may have done a boo-boo. I'll give you 28 for now. Yeah, no, that's a proper Arsenal team for next season. Next season's FM will have a very strong Arsenal team, I'm sure. We'll see. We'll see if you come around. We'll see if you come around. But I've had the same. I've had entire versions that I've not bought just because I've lost the love for the game. The previous version, the previous edition just ruined it for me, or I just fell so out of love with it that I just went, no, do you know what? I'm not playing it this year. I want to bet they play like shit. I don't know. I think there's a case for saying that Arsenal of the last, I'd probably say 4 or 5 FMs have been overpowered. They always end up winning the league within a few years. So I do suspect there's a bit of I don't know if it's pro Arsenal bias, but I do think they'll end up with a very good squad next year. I do. We'll see how they do in real life. A few years ain't OP. It is when they're up against the likes of Man City and Liverpool. Arsenal from 2 years ago are not in the same league. They're not. OP means win it every year. Not at all. Not at all. Arsenal, they've probably been better represented in Football Manager than they have in real life, I would say. But I think that changes for the next edition. I think they're actually going to have to improve Arsenal's starting position for next FM. In terms of available transfer budget and the existing squad as well. Right, and Keeley is the defensive playmaker, and João Neves as the Segundo Volante because I like him getting forward. Let's go Burkholt. Lethen can start this one. I think Ralph Dorr can start this one as well. And obviously, as ever, Cho starts up front. And Chrysostomu's back from suspension, but I'm going to keep Oliveira in. And Margraf can come off the bench for his first game, I think. Well, that's definitely not the team talk I intended, but there we go. We just told them to chill. Let's hope I've not messed that one up. So Ashwin, as a new subscriber, you'll get to, I say new subscriber, a resubscriber, you will now get to use some of the new emotes that I mean, I don't know when I managed to do it, but at some point between finishing work, having to go shopping, and do my school governor meeting, and starting the stream, I managed to put together a couple more emotes. Nothing impressive, nothing like the awesome ones that you've got, but they were literally just me. And obviously, there's a Gillingham one. Obviously. And I think when I start to make some, if it's more of an if I start to make half decent money out of the streaming game, then I will look to spend some of that money on some of the sort of like graphics designers, because you know they've got to make a living as well, and I'm not good enough to be able to do it myself. Would have never guessed the Jill's one. Exactly, yeah. Why would I do something like that? And Cho with the opener. As long as he stayed on side there, I think he has. Yeah, he has 1-0. Yeah, the good thing about mentioning graphics designers on stream on Twitch as opposed to on Twitter, I don't have now 20 bots DMing me with half nude pictures or offers for designs for emotes. To talk to human beings about it is fine. If I talk to Twitter about it, well, I'd probably end up with the same result you had. How many replies did you get from bots in the end to that tweet? I think I saw it in the 30s, but I may be wrong. And that's offside. Last. Okay, let's go and do better in this. Oh, we've upset them. Okay, that's not good. Oh dear. Not a good team talk. We're 40 or so. That's insane. I think that's decided it for me. If I get to the point where I'm going to be earning enough money from this to actually pay for emotes, I'm just going to ask the people who you've recommended. I'm not gonna put it on Twitter, because Twitter is now just I think it's all bots, half of whom have blue ticks as well, which makes it even harder to tell them apart. And Cho with number 2. Yep, not offside. We're still going. I would take Catty, to be fair. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the last, was it 3 emotes that you got from her? They look amazing. Although obviously I'm not likely to go for that same anime style, but if she's able to, I say if they're able to switch it up, then yeah, definitely first port of call. And door with number 3. Yeah, I mean, it's that last one in particular, the the angry one. I absolutely adore that. I think it's my favourite of the 3. I absolutely adore that. Oh, it was offside. Okay. Yeah, it's Ducky. He's back. Ashwin, we need to stop talking about him. Is that a boo? You're trying to scare me, boo, or is that a boo because your 5-5-0 didn't succeed in a match? Okay, looks like we're going through into the next round of the German Cup. I got no part of it. That's it, drop me in it. Okay, let's get Margraf on in the centre for his first appearance in a Hertha shirt. I didn't allow your shit sharp position defending goal. Alright, Thor's tired, so we'll get him off. Tired legs at the back here, so let's get Kirkes on. And Chrysostom, I suppose, can come back. Your tactic is working a treat. So are you just using that when you go ahead in a match? You're not using it from the start, are you? Be interesting to see how many goals you score if you did use it from the start. Would it just be a series of 0-0s? And what does that look like in the match engine? 3 times you use it, haven't gone 2 goals upheld on for victory every time. And comparatively, what's the quality of opposition like? Is that on a par with you, better, worse? Why does it always rain on me? And Chrysostom doing Chrysostom things there. Can Cho get through for his hat trick? Probably not. Can he put it across? Margraf. Welcome to Hertha, Jen Margraf. That's the way to introduce yourself. That's the way to do it. It's decent money for winning a cup match. Prize money in Germany is definitely higher than we see in England. Obviously, the TV money in England's much higher. Spent a little bit there. We get that under control. Yeah, great. Yeah, it would be interested, Ducky, to see whether that's something you can keep up throughout 90 minutes. And that would you score? Have you scored any goals actually while you've been using that formation, even in the 3 matches that you've done it, or has it purely been defending? You managed to break out and score a goal. Can't imagine how you would with a very defensive Catenaccio 5-5-0. I don't see where goals come from in such a such a formation setup. But no goals. I wouldn't necessarily expect there to be. Right, Schaefer is coming out on loan. Hopefully, he'll get some game time there, and we'll come back to us just a little bit better. We did try him a little bit last season, didn't really work out. Started to prefer Lochu to him quite quickly. All right, Hanover away. Then we're back into the Champions League. Champions League with Celtic, and then Hearts. I think it is the week after that. So quietly confident about both of those. I'm hoping actually we managed to make it into the top 8 off the back of them. We did lose 2 matches, but that was away to Man United and away to Barcelona. Not really expecting to win those, but wins against Celtic and Heart would probably propel us into the top 8. I'm sure someone above us will drop some points. We don't even need too many teams to drop points above us, so fingers crossed. But what worries me is it's registration time, and I'm scared that because I've not even thought about it when I brought in the 2 new players, there's a chance I won't be able to register either of them. He's 16. We're not selling him now. Okay. Connor Bradley's injured, but we've got options. Which is something we couldn't say last season. It was Connor Bradley, or it was guy was giving with him. What's his name? Where is he? Masit Boskurt. That's it. Right, here we go. This is when we find ourselves in a bit of trouble. We can only register 19 players because we don't have enough homegrown players. That's a problem. Is there anyone I can drop out without? Not really. Because what I want to be able to do is put Margraf and Lewis Silva in, but we need to leave 6 spaces in the squad because of this. Is there anyone who's not? I mean, I could drop Vega out. It will probably upset him, but actually Margraf is a better option there. But can... I can't drop Adeyemi for Lewis Silva because he's homegrown in Germany. He's one of the only 2 who's homegrown in Germany, so that's not even an option. In fact, I'm not sure who number 2 is. Who's the second player? Who's oh, Cristiano. I've got no striker backup if I do that. I suppose Diamande could play as the striker, and we have played him there before. But it literally is those 2. Okay, Lewis Silva isn't expecting, so we're just going to go with that. He won't expect to play in the Champions League squad, I wouldn't think. Gabri Vega might get up unhappy, and there it is. Okay, he's quickly turned around on that one. That's good. Will it work for the 4th time in a row? What's the situation? Midway through second half, 2 goals up. Half time, 2 goals up. One more and Cho is in the record books for player of the match. We can look at that list, but we're not actually buying anyone now. Unless we start selling players. I very much doubt there's anyone who's going to be moving into Hertha. Switch off 2 quick goals in early 50th. Okay, it worked. So it seems like it's potentially, if you are up against a team that's much bigger, much better, maybe could be from the start kind of formation. Perhaps introducing a bit of counter-attacking late on in the game as legs start to tire. Right, Patrick Burkhart, who are you? Decent season for her to 2. Potentially could be a backup option. It's not amazing at this stage. I wonder if he can develop beyond that, though. Not particularly consistent. What do you offer him? Let's get some. I need far more guaranteed in there, guys. Come on. 2.7 guaranteed. That's not. That's 2.3 guaranteed. I'm going to reject that, I think. We can do better. We can hold out for more. South Korean team away in ACL. Could play from the start because I won 2 from 2. I'll try the usual 4-4-2. Oh, it makes sense, yeah. I wasn't necessarily suggesting you go out and tank your save just by trying things out for my benefit. I say for my benefit. There's not a great likelihood I'm going to use that tactic ever. But just interesting to know just how well that would work in. Let's say it's a non-league team against Manchester United in the FA Cup kind of situation. Just how effective could that be? Boska is going to have to start in this one because all of my right back options otherwise are gone. Although they're suggesting Milos Kerkez as an inverted wing back. It's an interesting idea. I've not really played the inverted wing back because I like the width to come from my wing backs. Because I have both of my wingers tucking in, both of my inside forwards or inverted wing or inside forward, they will tuck in, so the width comes from these two. I'm going to give him a start on the left, but I am going to go with Boskurt, I think. And then we'll go with Chrysostomu and Oliveira because I love Oliveira at the moment. If I get smashed, we'll try a 5-5-0 from beginning a home game again against Ulsan. Yeah, like I say, don't do it for my benefit, mate. Just you play your game. It's just so it's something that I might need to try out a bit more. Something I'd do off stream, I think. But if I ever found the time, sit here and just tweak formations until I find something I like. Right, we're gonna go with Margraf for his first start. I think Ralph Dorr may be taken over from Simon Hardy as our first choice left winger. I do like getting Dorr off of the bench. I mean, he is still young, so I don't want to overplay him, but he quite often comes up with something. If he doesn't score a goal, he gets an assist, or he at least gets creates or is involved in a good chance. So definitely see a future for him. Right. We've got an ad break coming up, so I'm going to run that early, and in fact, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break before we start the Hanover game. So I'll see everyone in a couple of minutes. And we're back. Oh, I missed it. I missed it. How did it go? Was it another comfortable defending of a 2-goal lead? Hanover smashed him in the cup. Should do him again in the league. Should. Not necessarily will, though. Nope. Did you score another? Oh, please tell me you scored another. And Door. What a man. This kid's going to be big for us, I'm sure. Brilliant run from Cho. And Door arrived just when he needed to. Oh, was that just with the 4-4-2 you started with? I'm taking... I assume then that the South Korean teams are bigger than yours. And Oliveira just doing what Oliveira does. And João Neves. Oh, we're good at football. That's incredible football. I mean, the goalkeeper probably should have done better there from the from Nkili's shot, but we're just absolutely dominating Hanover here. And I realise they're not the strongest of opposition, but my goodness, we're good at this. 5 players whose weekly wages individually would pay my whole squad and then some. Yeah, bit of a mismatch then. Okay, so you went 2 up. What was the final score? I know FM22 just punished defensive football. You could not defend. The quality gap is much more. Maybe I'll wait until for 10 to 5 minutes before going on in defence. Yeah, I mean it might be worth it. 3-2. Oh, okay. So 5-5-0 isn't the guaranteed defensive tactic we were hoping for. Scraps, welcome back. You're not happy with me. Is this because I wasn't here on Saturday for your for quiz night? Oh, I do apologise. I was I was accosted in the pub. Oh, and we've let Hanover have a goal there. Hopefully, it's just the one. Yeah, I was out on Saturday afternoon to went to the pub to watch a bit of Royal Ascot, put a few bets on, and just as I was leaving, my brother turned up, and so I hadn't seen him in a while, so stayed for a couple more, and then before I knew it, it was very late, and I was I was definitely not in a fit state to be streaming. Twitch actually have rules about how drunk you're allowed to be on stream, and I would have, let's say, I would have been touching on those, on breaking those rules. But we will definitely have more opportunities for quiz night scraps. Promise you that. I do think a Saturday night would probably be best for it as well. It's one of my late night streams. Tend to get a bit more engagement, a few more people watching, and yeah, I think it'll be quite fun. So I'm very sorry for not being here for Saturdays, but this Saturday I'm 99% certain I've got nothing planned. So yeah, we'll be on it. We will be on it. How was your weekend anyway? Ashwin, welcome back. Mr. Founder, sir. My weekend was shit. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, they've not really created much. Actually, I've created more than I was expecting because you weren't bloody streaming. Oh no, you can't put that pressure on me. Oh, I'm genuinely sorry to hear that. I hope that's performative and that I didn't actually ruin your weekend. And Cho, is this number 5? I mean, we're just so good at scoring goals now. Actually, this weekend, Scraps, I was hoping to catch a rugby league match on Sky, but there wasn't anything. I think it was only the Friday night match, wasn't there? Cried in the shower for 5 hours on Sunday because you didn't stream. Oh God. Now I know. Now I know that's not true. If it was, I would feel incredibly guilty, but I know for certain that's not true. Absolutely no one would be that upset about me not streaming. Let's make some changes, and I've forgotten to pause. It's the first time in a long time I've not paused while making subs. Defeated second in. So Castleford beat Warrington. Oh, and that's a bloody good performance. And talking of good performances, we're 6-1 up. 6-1. Welcome aboard HMS Piss the League, everyone. And we're flying here. We are flying. In 23-14, it's fairly close, but it's, you know, given the relative positions of the two teams, that's a strong win. That's a really strong win. And that's 7. Oh, that's 7. Right, let's make a couple of changes. We're going to have to leave Ralph Dorr on now, aren't we? Who do we want to give a run out to? Let's get Diamande on for... So let's get Kari on for Neves to start, and... Go on, yeah, let's get Diamande on for Margraf there, who somehow has not scored, even though I said he'd be a great goal scorer. In a match where we've scored 7 goals, he's not got one. Who cares if it's close, a win's a win? Well, absolutely. As a Gillingham fan, I completely appreciate a win being a win, regardless of how you get it. And okay, we've conceded a second. I'm only so bothered. Watch this after your game. It's funny commentary from Castleford versus Wigan back in the day. His accent is Yorkshire as well, so it's even funnier. Okay, okay. How back in the day is back in the day, we shall find out. Bearing in mind you were born this century, I I'm dreading to think what you consider to be back in the day. I'm now 2-0 up in the league. Does that mean we're going to the 5-5-0? Surely the experiment's not yet done. You weren't born. Yeah, but that would describe more than half of my life. Oh. Wait till these ads are gone. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's proper Yorkshire. That's proper Yorkshire, that is. Ducky, you've seen this before then. Is this genuine commentary? Oh God, that's amazing. Shove it up yours. Yeah, I love that. Is that genuine commentary? Is this like fan commentary, like the old fan zone thing? That's quality. I love that. And that had a definite 90s feel about it. Clearly isn't a fan of Wigan. No, no, clearly not. Oh, a 7-2 win over Hanover. That's not bad. Good way to go into the Celtic match where hopefully, we can all but secure our qualification for the round of 16. I would like to be able to skip the playoff round if at all possible. There's definitely a potential banana skin in there if we don't make it through in the top 8. And after we got battered by Man United and by Barcelona, even though we did smash PSG, I'm still not entirely confident that we are quite up to scratch. Live buzzing around me. Give that man a knighthood, yeah. That's brilliant. think you should do a Leeds save next. Why Leeds? Is there any reason other than you support Leeds and you'd like to see that? And I suppose from the perspective of they've just gone down, get them into the Premier League, get them some proper glory. Let's send him home. It's a virus. We don't want to keep him around. Yeah, it's just you. Yeah. And one that might be worth looking at, in all seriousness, for probably for FM24 might be a Reading save, depending on how everything goes with them. Relegated to League One, winding up order. And it could certainly make for an interesting one. And Scraps, you'll have to forgive me, but I think Bradford might make for an interesting one. You know, former Premier League team languishing down in League Two for what, 5 years now? Is it 5 seasons they've been in League Two? And that feels like one that could be interesting. No, yeah. I had a feeling you might say that. I'm not selling Muller. Dittle. You are. Yeah, he's got a price. Meet that and you can take him. No, I would say bye-bye to your streams. You've gone from 5 hours of crying in the shower to unfollowing me if I manage Bradford. We've got here, that goal difference is disgusting. Oh, that is disgusting. In 4 matches, a goal difference of 16. There's obviously a little bit of a difference in the quality there. I can't say I know much about Asian football, just based on performance over the last couple of decades of the national teams. You'd say that South Korea obviously has. Let's get you back over there. Don't want to see all of my Twitch dashboard. But yeah, I'd definitely say that South Korea has fair bit of investment in the games. You'd expect them to have a fairly decent team, but are they genuinely that far ahead of the rest of Asia? I think with the money in Saudi, Qatar, you'd expect those teams to do pretty well as well. Right, Champions League. Let's get ourselves into the Champions League frame of mind by picking our strongest side. Yeah, can play. Cristiano and Crisostomo will go back to the original pairing. As much as I love Oliveira, Crisostomo, I've got a lot of trust in. Neves and Keeley. Bergholt, just too many goals not to have him. We'll give Lethen a start in the middle. I can't drop Door at the moment. Just can't drop him. Gosh, we're already at the stage where we're being given greyed out players. Oh dear. It's fine. 10 subs is fine. And what have we got here? Oh, Scraps, how very dare you? How very dare you? Well, for that, I'm definitely booking Bradford in as an FM24 save. Last played on FM on June the 6th. I'd be getting withdrawal symptoms, Ashwin. I mean, you are. You're doing a very, very good job indeed of staying away from it. That's ugly. Should I time him out? Ashwin's an Arsenal fan, and even he knows. Okay, Scraps. I accept your apology. But if I'm honest with you, I think I'm pretty much on the edge of the final generation that actually sees that as a rivalry. There are fair number of youngsters who genuinely don't see Swindon as a rival, mostly because it was the 60s and 70s when that rivalry became or 70s I think it was when that rivalry became a thing. And a lot of 20-year-olds won't have really known why. It's not because it's not local. It's based off of events that happen in a playoff. I don't know how many Gillingham fans who are in the younger generation, who are in their sort of 20s now, who genuinely see them as a rival. Not many. It's kind of it's an inherited thing. You're like, oh yeah, they're a rival, but why? This happened 50 years ago. Arsenal fan, yeah. PMD Adaptable is an Arsenal fan from the Netherlands who even he knows that Swindon is it's a disgusting club. Doing our best to give that ball away there, but we do finally get it forward. Oh, Scraps is in wind-up mode. I'm not even repeating that. Lies. Played for 900. Well, you've got a discrepancy there. 931 or 927 hours. "15 years, no trophies." Yeah, right. Yeah. And what was that trophy? League Cup? I mean, if you want to count it, I suppose you can. Well, let's see should we see how much time I've put into FM? Not even close. Look at that. 593 hours. Swindon hold the record for most goals conceded in a Premier season, and I don't see that being beaten, if I'm honest with you. And I hope they hold on to that until the very end of football. PMD played a minute recently. What, a minute of Football Manager? I bet there was just enough to uninstall it. Come on, we need to get this win against Celtic. We need to get ourselves into the top 8. Goal line technology says. That's a really helpful view, yep. I'm much clearer now. I misclicked on it and did a task manager close. You are creating on the balls at night. I'm chasing around and try to pop them all the time. We don't need to trust a single word they say. Oh, 1,271 hours on FM23. I mean, that's incredible. Yeah, it shows how much of a lightweight I am in comparison. Look at Discord. Okay, that's usually good. That's insane playtime. And look, proof that he doesn't even have it installed now. Absolute proof. Oh, I was hoping we'd have scored a goal. Oh, and instead I've come back just in time to watch us concede. Well, that's not good enough. I'm going to berate them and we're going to go attacking. And that 4-2-4 might be finding its way out. I'm going to give it 5 minutes in this second half, and if we've not scored an equaliser, the 4-2-4 comes out. Now, guaranteed 4-4-2 buster. Okay, right. 4-2-4 it is. And Diamande can come on and score us goals and show us how it's done. I thought I'd snooze the ads. Sorry, Scraps. Is it bad that I predicted Leeds to finish 13th in the 22-23 season? I mean, bad in the sense that it's bad in the sense that you'd probably want to be higher. Oh, that should have been the equaliser. And Chrysostomou with the equaliser. It's about time. 4-2-4, guaranteed to beat 4-4-2. Right, Akani needs to come off. He is absolutely shattered. So Boskirk can come on. And no, Chrysostomou's just scored. We're going to leave him on. Cho, he's always got the potential to score something. Let's get Kohane off for Kirkhead, shall we? Also, oh yeah, I was just waiting. I assumed that would be in Discord. Right, I'm going to pause this because we are getting into a pretty important stage of the game here. Oh, you're not over 30, are you? Don't let your wife see it, no matter what. Don't let your wife see it. I mean, I'm just making a note of the username now. I'm back off. Yeah, sorry, Scraps. I thought I'd snooze the ads, but clearly not. But yeah, if you don't mind me having a try, Ashwin, you know, might as well try. My favourite meme. Oh, my favourite meme. I mean, it's still, it was anonymous. Who's to know? Too early or too late for Valentine's Day, depending on which way you're looking at it. But it's always nice to get a secret lover. Or secret admirer, I should say. And it's 2-1. 4-2-4. That does 4-4-2. It's one that I struggled with for so long in FM23, was playing against 4-4-2s. 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, even a 5 at the back didn't always work. But 4-2-4, guaranteed. Right, Jean Neves has taken a knock, so let's get him off. I don't want him getting ruled out for any period of time. And Ralph Dawes had a good game, but let's get him off for Hardy. And I've only got one more. This is my last stoppage. So my last change is going to be Chris Ostermo. He is just too tired, and Oliveira can just undo. No, he can't. That is my last change. So we'll just do that. Oh, that was nearly a third. One more day of work before I have 4 days off. Nice. I only did a 4-day week last week, but that's so I could do my school governor role on Friday. Also, some news that I don't think I told you I had a panic attack on Friday. I'm sorry to hear that, Scraps. It's yeah, it's a rough one, that. It's something my dad suffered with quite badly, to the point where one of them, well, we ended up having to phone an ambulance because it was so strong, and it was a proper stress reaction to really really big trauma he'd had at work. But it's a serious thing. Absolutely is a serious thing. So I hope you manage to get some some help with it. I'd highly recommend seeking out professional help, because it's something that there's absolutely no shame about it. Seek that help, because even if you don't want medication or whatever, there are coping techniques that you'll want to use. And me as a streamer, as an old man, I'm not much help with this, but get genuine, get genuine professional assistance. Go see your GP. They'll refer you on to the right services. I think you're now of an age where, if you don't want your parents to know about it, they're not under any obligation to tell them. I had one panic attack. Yeah, they're common. They're more common than you'd probably think. And I'm an anxious person. I'm a particularly social anxiety. I mean, touch wood, thankfully, I've never had a panic attack or anything that I would recognise as a panic attack. I think the closest I probably came was actually before my vasectomy. I was so worked up about it, I just went and kind of sat in the car. But I'd recommend for anyone, if you do have, genuinely, if you have a panic attack, don't feel that you've got to deal with it yourself. Seek professional help would be my advice, and more importantly, talk to friends, talk to family. Something that I think is very good about the modern age is that we are much more open to those conversations about mental health than we used to be. My throat kept wanting to keep swallowing constantly, despite me not eating or drinking or having anything in my mouth yet. So I had to phone my dad as I couldn't breathe. He calmed me down and said, take an inhaler. Yeah. 11th school, my first ever roller coaster. Yeah, and that can be quite a traumatic experience. It's we all think of it as a bit of fun, but that's a huge thing. Teacher calm me down. I'm pleased to hear it. I mean, in response to that, you wouldn't necessarily say that, you need to go and see a GP for that in particular. But if they happen again, definitely, there is no stigma to it these days, and that's a great thing. I think it's a great thing for all of us. And aside from that, Scraps, did you actually manage to enjoy Flamingo Land? Did you actually manage to enjoy the theme park? Or did that ruin the day for you? Ducky, I mean, is that your only panic attack? I certainly hope so. They're certainly not pleasant things. And I remember my dad used to have them relatively frequently, actually. And he'd go tense and start sweating, and not always hyperventilating, which I think we all see as something of a typical symptom. But he kind of just froze. Never had panic attacks, but I did have other stuff. Yeah, and like I say, there's less stigma than it used to be. Certainly when I was a kid, and my dad had various. I mean, panic attacks was the start of it, and it all came from. He was a train driver, and it came from multiple incidents. But one of them was a near miss with rail workers. Their lookout wasn't doing their job, as he described it, and he very nearly hit people who were working on the rail, and that that did him. Everything snowballed from there. That was a major traumatic event. Roller coaster was sick once it was going. Okay, so bit of a recovery then, and then you went on every single one. Well, there you go. Sometimes those new experiences, scary as they may be, they can be good. You've switched to 550 after 8 minutes, Ducky. I mean, that feels brave. Are you 2-0 up, or is this the next? Is this the evolution of the tactical experimentation? We'll just mute that while the ads are playing. YouTube are not getting free advertising on my stream. Thank you very much. Here we go. Kumali. That's a bit of a build up, isn't it? There we go. Let's get to the top. So this one reminds me of one at Chesington. I think it's at Chesington called Air, or it used to be Air. And yeah, your feet would dangle. You'd have the harness come over the top of you, and you'd hold on to it. And then they changed it. And they made it kind of a VR kind of thing. So you wear this like VR headset, and you're supposedly going through, I don't know, the universe or something as an astronaut. Or I don't know. It honestly ruined it for me. Absolutely ruined it for me. The whole VR element wasn't needed. Actually made it worse. You didn't feel like you were like genuinely moving, if that makes sense. Hold on, we've got another one. This one next. Skip to 40 seconds. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that pregnant pause at the top. Oh, wow. The speed that one's going at. It's over just like that. I'm good, thanks. Or is that a no then? Right, no, we're going to say no to these loan offers because we are giving Richter a bit of game time. Imagine being stuck at that high point. Oh, see, this is why I never liked going on the front of a roller coaster. Because when you're on the front, normally when you've got that sort of big drop, you're stuck there for a second while the rest of the roller coaster catches up, and you are just held there. I finally did. I think it was Oblivion. I think it's called Oblivion at Alton Towers, and it's pretty much just a vertical drop straight into a dark hole. The ride is over in seconds, just a few seconds. But that's one where it dangles you over the top and draws you back ever so slightly before you just hear the click and you just go. Oh, that was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Now, I did that years ago. My wife and I, we went and stayed up there, and we did like just the two of us. We got rid of the kids, I think, and we stayed over in like I call them hobbit holes. I can't even remember what they were, but they were like hobbit holes. And then we got early access into the park the next day, and we went to Oblivion because we're like we've not done it. Every time there was always a huge queue, or the people we'd been with didn't want to do it. And we said, okay, we're going. And I was like, I insisted we are definitely going. And as we're walking up, and there's no queue, so you're just walking up where everyone would normally queue up. It's at the front you realise, actually, I've got no time to prepare for this or see this in action. I'm just literally walking onto it. Even I started to feel my heart thumping. That's why I never go on a roller coaster. Yeah, yeah. Well, this is it. It's the scare stories. You do start to think about, and I think it happens as you get older. You start to think about the worst possible outcomes more. As a kid, you're like, yeah, I'm going for the thrill. Even in my early 20s, when you're in your 30s, you start thinking, well, this could be dangerous. When my mum was on Oblivion, that didn't happen for the poor sods after her. They got stuck at the top where it stops before going down the hill for about an hour. Wow. Oh, so they were stuck there for an hour before it moved. That's not good. Right, okay. Oh, got another one. Oh, scraps. Scraps, scraps, scraps. No, no. Bad boy. My kids love doing that to me as well. But duck it out, that sounds terrifying. Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that if I ever experience that once, if I experience it once, I would be done with roller coasters. Oh no, that's a 1 minute timeout for you. That's hilarious. My kids do that to me. They like to do that to me far too much. They'll forever find a way to send me like a reel on Instagram that draws you in. You know the ones I mean. They draw you in. You're like, oh, what's going to happen next? And then suddenly that hits you. Became a bit of a competition for a while who could get the others. Right, let's go Chrysostomy and Ruben Oliveira at the back because Carney, I think, is still injured. No, no, he's out on right back duty. Diabolical. My finger slipped. No, well done. You got me. You played that one very well indeed. I wasn't even considering the possibility. Right. What we've not done, we've not rested any players between matches, so we are got a few players running on fumes here. Right, let's rotate this round a bit. Cohen playing in midfield alongside Kari, I think. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Burkholt. Yeah, Mando. We've not given him a start for a little while, so let's get him back out there. And Hardy similarly can play. And do we give Lewis Silva first start? Bayer Leverkusen at 8th. No, I've got to treat them. Got to treat them with respect. Let's start Cho. I want to show you a picture of an angry mother ant zoomed in face. Don't want to re-see it either, so you are safe. And actually, my finger slipped too. Yeah. I think a 1 minute timeout is a fitting reward for Rick rolling me. Okay, let's put this team together. Let's see if we can keep this league streak going. This will be 40. Don't think the Hanover game was number 40, was it? Gillingham Scum. Wow. That should be a 10-minute ban, in my opinion. I mean, we're definitely getting closer. You won't be saying that when you probably will be saying that when we pass you. When we're up to the Premiership and you're on your way back down to League One. But I do think your prediction of 13th is pessimistic for Leeds. I think you'll be in the playoffs at least. Yeah, I was just discussing that at the weekend with the guys in the pub, and we generally think Leicester are the ones who are going to struggle. Right, this is cosplay gone too far. This is cosplay gone far too far. Oh, I can't unsee that. Okay, I got to time out again. Yeah, I think it's not time for a little time on the naughty step. Tottenham on top, Swindon on top. Indeed. Wow. Okay, what have we got here? Actually, let me just pause. Oh, we're fine. It's a league match. We'll win that. Okay, so we've got a little treasure map. He's on the hunt. We found the spot. Love it. I love those long payoffs. Oh, what have we just missed? Oh, it's a red card for Akani and a penalty. Oh dear. Maybe I should have paused it after all. Okay, let's. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, let's get you back here. Let's do this. Should get you as an attacking. We're still going to go out and win this game. I would have killed off the oxygen, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Grandma. I'm having the last laugh here. And Marichal with a penalty save. What a man. What a man. I said in the last stream, you don't want to hear from your goalkeepers too much at this level, except when they do things like that. Day bleeds into nightfall. All right. We're down to 10 men. We're not exactly looking like we're trying to hold on. Not much is happening in the match either, which I think is a good thing. All right, Burkholt needs to come off. So Burkholt for Lethen. Diamandi's tired, so we'll bring on Neves. Cohane can come off for Boskert, and then we can get Kirkes on his natural side. And we'll save the last two for a few minutes. Yeah, I do like some of those videos. It's a long payoff. You do sometimes wonder where it's going. I did think it might be something along those lines, but I do like that long payoff. And maybe a bit of a warning there that we're vulnerable. Doesn't mean I'm going to defend. FM22 has made sure don't go defensive anymore. It punished you if you went defensive. Right, and Keeley. We are almost out of options now. And then Kari 4. We've got Richter on the bench. No. You're probably going to have to stay on. And Cho for Silva. Let's just see if we can steal something with Luis Silva. Is Scraps still here? Scraps, have we upset you? I hope not. Boskert clearing the ball well. We're into the last couple of minutes of this match, and that worries me because Bayer Leverkusen are very close to an equaliser. Right, what we'll do, I won't go defensive, but I will waste time. Probably should have done that a bit earlier. Let's hope. Let's hope we've not. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. Didn't leave it too late. Just remember, I got timed out for 40 plus minutes on AA stream anniversary. Yeah, I did catch a bit of that. Because the person who was playing with you, because the three of you weren't there, they got timed out for. It was a few minutes, wasn't it? It was like 10 minutes. How did you get 40 minutes? But it probably won't. I had like 30 wheel spins or so. All right, okay, so it was a cumulative thing. If you get a timeout for 2 minutes, you have to, yeah, each time you get that, you add it up. Impressive, right. This. You're going to be an insane contract, though, aren't you? That's not too bad. Every sub was a spin, bits were a spin. Winning a game was okay. Were there any good prizes in there? It wasn't just timeouts. Right, let's get the scouts on this one because that's not a bad. And it's another potential bargain. Although I've probably got too many players in that position. So we'll see. We'll see. 3 games. That's of course, yeah. Got that one. You got Hot Wheels for your boy as well, didn't you? It won't appeal against that. I assume it was a bad challenge and literally no point in appealing anything. Marichal looks like he kept us in that game, which is good stuff. And didn't you get a third game as well? Went through in both Continental Cup knockout rounds. Amazing. That's great stuff. He could end up being double Asian champion. Ah, Borderlands 3, yeah, I remember you saying now. Right, actually, before we continue, let's rest some players. So we're looking fairly pretty on the top of Bundesliga, but Bayern Munich still keeping pace with us. We've not snuck into the top 8 as I would have hoped in the Champions League, so this game against Hearts is huge. And he's back. There he is, yeah. Oh, Scraps, you've got adverts coming up in about 15 seconds. So see you again after those. It'll be a few. I try and do it all in blocks. See you in a mo. Made a TikTok on how Leeds are better than Real Madrid. How well did that one go down? I'll send you it after the ads. Cool. It better not be another Rickroll. So there is no TikTok then. Oh, is it deadline day soon? It is. No, we're going to decline that meeting. There was nothing for us to do on deadline day. No, I'm also not letting Richter go. Nor Muller. We need to give Muller a new contract. Right, let's offer him a new contract. Hopefully that will put paid to all of this nonsense. You're asking quite a lot for a youngster, aren't you? There we go. That's better. Going to send it on Twitter. Okay, I'll open up my Twitter. Never seen this before. I have had that once. It's only been in FM23. Moaned that he was doing well and didn't feel like he should have been taken off. I think I told him to shut up and get over it, and then within a few weeks he was back to normal. But I have noticed actually in FM23 when back in the dressing room for the post-match team talk, you do tend to find it will say that they understand because they were tired or understand because they were injured that they got subbed off. It's definitely more of a thing this time around. Yeah, we're not selling Richter, are we? Come on, realistically, we're not. We're just going to say no to that and move on. Steven Bergholt, my little Dutch beauty. He's turned into a hell of a player for us over the last couple of seasons. Okay, here we go. Let's get you over here. Love it. That's yeah, that was how we used to do it at school. If my team beat this team and this team beat your team, my team are definitely better than your team. But it's a stretch having Brighton in there, but I see the logic. I can agree. No, 1.4. That's the price. Marcel Winkle, yeah, go on, go and get some loan time. That's fine by me. Yes, it is. I don't like the player interactions in Football Manager, in FM23. I mean, in any of them really. Ever since they brought it in, there's always been a problem with it. But yeah, that would be a perfectly legitimate option. That would be an absolutely legitimate option to say, I want to change tactic. You didn't fit into this tactic. Yeah, it's daft. Yeah, exactly. So now you have to play the assertive role. You have to play that, and that doesn't always work. But hopefully they'll be over it fairly quickly. Oh, what do we got next? Oh, and we've got another one. It's not Superman or Batman, but it's your man. Amazing. 1926, not one of us are born, no. Now, even I can stand up and say I wasn't born in 1926. Although, it's Ashwin, you'll probably have this at some point. You'll probably have this at some point. It was a little while ago now, but one of my kids genuinely turned around to me and said, Dad, what was it like in the olden days? Oh, I just, yeah, that one, that one sent me into a depression for like 2 weeks. What was it like in the olden days, Dad? Oh, it hurts. It does say your leave. I didn't watch the video though. Oh, is this the one where? Actually, I think I did look at it. This way, you were finished 12th in the streamer drafts, or were in 12th. Listen, Adam will remember that game. He was just hitting 25. Whoa. Where's that timeout button? Someone show me. Did you hit your wife on the head with a club to tie the knot or something? Oh, why are we all picking on me? Well, I suppose I'm the one here. Look at that. Above Cy Maggio. Above Viking Dan. It stops at your peak. Now, that's not bad out of 60 streamers. That's impressive stuff. Who is number one? Traquinio. Okay, Traquinio. Can't even say I know that one. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's the way to bow out. That is definitely the way to bow out. I said that to my parents so many times. Yeah, mate, you should think about the impact you had on them. I remember saying it to my parents as well, but I now fully appreciate what I did. Right, let's give Kirkes a start out there because we're just got players running on fumes pretty much now. This is the Hearts game, isn't it? Yeah, right. First team for this one. It was close as. We'll give Lethen a run out there. Margraf can start in the middle. Ralph Dorr can come. Actually, no. Simon Hardy. He has been playing well. Let's give Hardy a run out and Cho. Just because Cho's undroppable. And whoever is fit can go on the bench. Whoever's fit and registered, which is a bit of a smaller pool of players than it should be. But everything back then was way better. No, it wasn't. I'm much happier as an adult than I was as a kid. It can be. I remind my dad of the big 50 that is coming up at every opportunity I can. Yeah. It's the big 4-0 for me next year. My plan is just to pretend it's not happening. Of course, it depends how you see it. I like life. I like my life the way it is now compared to what it was when I was a kid. Aside from the fact that I had no responsibility, I do miss that. Big 3-0 coming in 3 months. Oh, I miss those days. I felt so young. And that's a good start. 31 seconds for the first goal. I'll have that. Yeah, see you shortly, Ducky. Yeah, 40 next year. My wife wants me to... she keeps insisting I should have some kind of party, but I really don't want to. I'm not a party kind of person. In fact, I wouldn't mind having a party as long as I don't have to attend. Why are you all complaining about how old you turn? I'm turning 16 in 6 months. God, I feel old. Might need to retire from school soon. "16, crikey. I don't miss being 16. I want to die in peace at 40, not party. Exactly. And this is the thing about parties. They're never for the person that they're supposedly for. They're for everyone else. My wife was saying, oh, you could do a barbecue. Like, I could, but that's me doing it. This is meant to be my party. I want to be able to sit and relax. No, you could cook a barbecue. So someone needs to explain that one for me. Retired from school at 17, had double graduations by then. I think mentally I'd retired from school at about 14. I was still there for, what, 17? Nearly 18, I think it was. Yeah, if I'm honest with you, Ashwin, I didn't enjoy school too much. Just imagine being bullied for fucking 14 years of school. Mate, that's rough. Kids are horrible. I'm pleased to say I didn't have. I wasn't really bullied. I wasn't really bullied at my primary school. I was a smart kid, and I I'm not trying to be big headed when I say I was the smart kid, but I did incredibly well for people from my background. Um, from the area I lived in, there weren't many high achievers for sure. I was only like the second or third person from my school to pass the 11 plus. But I was never bullied. I was always singled out, but never bullied. My fair shares of suicide thoughts in 14 years' time, mate. I hope you're not in that place now. I'm glad you got through it, and I'm glad that you didn't do anything stupid then. Did you have any kind of support network? You know, could you talk to your parents, your siblings, your friends about it? But I'm glad. I certainly hope things are better for you now. And in the conversations we've had, I like to think that that's true. Again, you know, if anyone's ever feeling that way, you talk to someone. Just talk to someone. We don't need to hold on to things ourselves, especially in this day and age. I don't do parties for my 18th. I'm going to go to the pub and watch the football. And that sounds like a bang up plan to me. That's exactly what I'd be doing. That's exactly what I did on my 18th. I don't think there was football involved, but I just went to the pub with a couple of mates. Actually, my dad took me to the pub when I was 18. It took me to a pub that I've been going to since I was 16. And said to the barman, who recognised me, he said, "Oh, it's his first legal pint," which gave the barman a bit of a turn. I look forward to being able to take my son one day. I say both of them, all of my children, all three of them, but obviously my eldest is going to get there first. Oh, scraps! Honestly, I'm glad didn't. Oh, let me try that again. I'm glad it didn't succeed, and I hope that if ever you find yourself in that situation again or having those thoughts again, reach out to someone. Just reach out to someone, anyone close to you, because no one should have to feel that way. And as like I've said before, as a society, I think we are far better these days about accepting, mental health and being able to look after each other, and it not being the stigma, something that we can't talk about. But always reach out. Got kicked and punched by two or more. Got bullied because of being different. All this one, 14 years. Oh, Ashwin, man, I'm so honestly, I'm so sorry about that. That's as rough as it gets. I'm glad you got through it, and I hope things feel better for you now. And these days, gamer nerd culture is mainstream. You're mainstream, and you're a cool dude. As I've said before, and I've genuinely meant it on this stream, I wouldn't be doing this even now if it wasn't for you. You popped up on, I think it was stream 3 or stream 4, donated £10, gave me a nice message, and you've been back numerous times since. And I probably would have got bored of it if it wasn't for all of that. You're a good guy. No one, good guy or not, no one deserves to feel the way you felt, especially not for that period of time. But you're a damn good guy, and I'm glad you're still around. I hope now you feel like you've got a better support network. And Scraps, for you too, I hope you've got the support network. And if you don't feel that you can talk to friends, to family, that then genuinely, seek out a professional. I mean, in the UK, we've got the Samaritans who you're able to reach out to in those moments of crisis when you don't feel there's any other way. Always reach out to someone. Because no one should feel that way. Been here for a couple of days, maybe, I don't know, weeks, and I can honestly say it's been the worst time of my life. Absolutely. No, mate, you sound. I mean, I'm not gonna go into it too much because for me it's still very very much a personal thing that I struggle to talk about. But I've had dark days similar to what you guys are describing. Like I say, I wasn't bullied at school. I never fit in. I didn't fit in, but I never felt bullied. Well, it could just be because I was too too emotionally unintelligent to understand that I was. But I've had those days. But that was something I'm still coming to terms with, I think, in some way. Don't know how I got on for those years, to be fair. Didn't have friends like the real ones. Never had like a girl. First real girlfriend cheating in front of my eyes, faking a pregnancy. Blimey. I mean, the fact that you managed to get through all of that and come out the other side, and you've got your, you've got your wife, you've got your family, and you're looking after them, mate. You've done well, despite the shit hand you were dealt at the start of life. You've come out of it a bloody good guy. No, I don't think he got my joke. This makes it awkward. I think I must have missed it there, Scraps. I've been here for the last. Okay, you're talking about the stream being worse. Okay, I get the joke now. Sorry, buddy. It got caught up a little bit in the serious chat there. I get what you're saying now. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm just going to echo what Ducky says. You've got us, and I genuinely hope that you never go through those sorts of dark times again. But if ever you do, we're here. You've built quite the little community on Discord there. You ruined the joke, Adam. Well done. Yeah, that sounds like the sort of thing I do, Scraps. If there's humour in a situation, you can be sure I'm there to suck it out. Or you're just bad at making jokes. Yeah, read the room. Read the room. Not gonna lie, I only discovered you because Hayden on Discord invited me to join his Discord and decided to take him up on his offer. Yeah, genuinely. I mean, from my own point of view, I've thought a couple of times over the last few weeks that I ought to set up my own Discord, set up my own server, mostly just so I can communicate with the few people who do come and watch me. But actually, I feel like if I did that, I'd end up losing time in your Discord server, and I enjoy hanging out there and chatting with people, even if I'm only there for a few minutes at a time. And I'm certainly glad that, I joined. Scraps left the chat. Look, you've always got the Rickroll. You've always got that one on me. Especially when you're talking fucking Chinese with Drop Bear. Look, Ashwin, it's very rare that I can get a chance to talk cricket, and specifically Ashes cricket with an Australian. I've got to take the chance. We are not getting rid of Richter. Just putting that one out there. I don't want to sell Muller either. So let's just move on. Going to get a lot of that before deadline day is over, aren't we? Yeah, if anyone is interested, and I know I know you're not. Second test starts tomorrow, so some of that chat might be coming back to your Discord. Just giving you the heads up. Let's use my channel points to unlock an emoji of yours. Go for it. Go for it. I've put some new ones up today that they're just things I knocked together. Most of them came from Chief's Kingdom, who is the official channel artist. I've not seen him for a couple of streams actually. I might have to message him and make sure he's okay. But he put together the random ones, the crocodile with the cigar, the elephant with the can of Stella. That was all Chief. A couple of them I chucked into myself, and I know what I'm doing, so they're probably a bit rubbish. Oh, Scraps. I feel like that was the perfect punishment for your Swindon trick. So I can talk in Wingding's language in your Discord now. Mustang, welcome back. It's been a while. How are you? I'm very well. I mean, as you can see, we are still flying as Hertha. Absolutely flying. We did just sneak into the Champions League top 8, so we are through to the round of 16 already. We're still top of the league. We are... Hertha are massive. It's the only way to put it. Arsenal tonight submitted a massive offer to West Ham, prize of 100 million and 5 million in add-on. Trying to speak here. 5 million in add-ons. I mean, that's massive. For Arsenal, that's absolutely huge. I need to find a guy on Twitch who's a Swindon supporter and had a Swindon emoji. Hard, because who the fuck would want to support Swindon? There we go. Now you're coming over to the light side, Scraps. Please hear it, Mustang. When's the tryout? When's your trial with the football team? RX actually supports Swindon. Look, Scraps, If you fancy trolling, you could go in there with your Gillingham badge. Next week. Are you nervous? Excited? What side of the scale are you on at the moment, Mustang? He doesn't have a Swindon emoji, I just checked. Oh god, they're offering more and more money for Richter, aren't they? Up to 24 million now. It's not happening. He's mime. Sure, I'll annoy him. Come on, you Jills, yes. Up the Jills is what we tend to use. UTG. Just to give it the authentic feel. Not nervous, I'm ready to play football. Be the best I can be. Good man. And when you're an AC Milan superstar, I've said it before, I want you back here and keeping in touch with us. Discord doesn't recognise webdings. Oh, Ducky, that's such a disappointment. Right. Got some suspensions and injuries to deal with. Okay, Chrysostomy and Oliveira. Got any time? Yes, okay. We can select a team without having to worry about the next match. This will be last match of the stream, everyone. And let's hope we absolutely smash it. Because it would be gutting for us to lose our unbeaten run now. I probably wouldn't sleep if that happened. He isn't live. Oh, that's a shame. $120 million less a player goes the other way. I mean, that's the figure I keep hearing as well. Yeah, I mean, that's probably just an opening gambit, isn't it? Just trying to get Arsenal closer to their actual valuation. Appreciation of the classics there, Ducky. Good stuff. Oh, not good. We can't let Schalke beat us. That's the first time that animated emote has been available, and it's getting good use out here. Don't Man City have a chant like this song, do they? Shit club, shit fan, shit ground, Leeds on top. I mean, there's no rivalry between Gillingham and Leeds. You can try it, but it just doesn't exist. I will agree it's a shit ground, but it's definitely not a shit club. And the fans are the greatest. I'm trying to go through up against 4-4-2 then. Oh, it's party time in chat. All those moves on the dance floor. Oh, I've got emote only chat. Get your dance moves out, everyone. How did you sneak in there? That was the wrong emote at the end. The middle ones were absolutely on purpose. Right, let's see if we can do better in this second half. Right, I'm going to demand more from this team. Right, what's the follow-up to that banger? And Boz Curtis sent off. Well, that's what happens when you have youngsters on the pitch like that. Okay, what is our move? Akeley's going to have to come on at 4. Let's bring off João Neves. We'll put Akeley out on the right there, even though that's his weakest side. Lethem for Diamandi. I'm going to put Margraf up front. We'll see how he gets on there. And Cohane for Kirkes. And we'll do what we've done before. You can play that role. You can be the Mazzala. And let's see if we can still go ahead and win this one, even with a man disadvantage now. I don't you worry, whoever I meet on Twitch, I will force myself to hate the club they support. I could shut everyone up except for me or Ducky if I got chat for subs. Sub-only chat. It would be very quiet in here if we did that. Come on, lads. Oh, is that Chrysostomy trying to get sent off as well there? This is diabolical. Ah, no. I feel like the unbeaten run might be coming to an end here. And Schalke of all teams. Ah, right. What do we have left in our arsenal? Okay. Let's do a bit of this. All right, let's get that ball forward. Not necessarily. Actually, yeah, let's play wide because we've not got much in the centre. Let's just go. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. And who can we change? Let's do Chrysostomy for... No. Let's do Nkili for Richter. Oh, crikey, what have I missed in chat here? Feel threatened. Typical FM. Yeah, mate, it had to find some contrived way to make me lose this unbeaten run. Fire outside Lidl. Love it. Right, we're throwing men forward in the hope that we can get one back. At this point, I will take a draw with both hands. Oh, no, that's a terrible pass from Chrysostomy. What on earth? Yeah, very attacking never works, does it? Normally, it just means no more highlights for the rest of the game, although switching back hasn't helped either. Well, that's about typical. Better team, higher XG, down to 10 men. We still lose. Right, arm thrashing. It's the first time I've had to do this to him in a long, long time. Don't listen to him, they don't know what they're talking about. He's oh, all I can say, he's a quitter. He doesn't do FM anymore. Doesn't even play Football Manager. Right, now we're not going to appeal that. Probably just stupid. But it was stupid. It's that scissor tackle that you literally never see in a game of football. But he just scissor tackled him from behind. Yeah, one shot, one goal. Or one shot on target. That's what have we got here, Ducky? Brilliant. Right, that is it. That's the night. We're going to call it there. And what a disappointing way to end it. The unbeaten run finally comes to an end. Faces Inquest. Wow. I mean, I think you'd think they'd give me a little bit more credit than that, but I face an Inquest after that. I want to find out how many matches it was. I think we were over 40, weren't we? That's not going to tell me. Still, we will find that out. We're going to call it to an end. I'm going to go to bed. I've got work tomorrow. It's far too late for me to keep up with this tomfoolery. Ashwin, Scraps, Ducky, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Everyone else who joined but lurks, really appreciate that as well. And yeah, going out to you guys. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and I hope to see you on the next one.